every rule. Success is a result of hard work, perfection, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Manners and behavior can take you where money can never take you. Cali shines in the building. Check it out again time, so go ahead and get ready. Cause knowledge will be dropped on your mouth, growing heavy. Since you wanna be a super duper star, hot shot, roll with the top notch, blue up in a hot spot. Stop! Oh, sit for a second. Classes in session. No need to raise your hand for any question, cause we gon' expose it all. Give you the rise and fall, the pro ball, like the feds, the track, the crashes, the highest flights, the height. Rookies don't know what you're in for. Sit back, relax, and let these veterans serve the info. That's why I know, none of it's a lie, yo. The more I love the story, the more the hype, yo. Cause what you see, the labs and luxury, the makeup bucks and bling, ain't easy as what it seems. Hella things they go through, stuff they refuse to show you. From the news, from almost any interviews they go to. Let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get up and so insane when you step into it, man. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get up and so insane when you step into it, man. You got the fame, the fortune, reputation is scorching. Every time you see yourself shining, you just want more of it. As gorgeous as it is to be on top, be so hot, having the finer things from pop bottles, the models, the pimp whips, more jewels and slick Rick. And knowing you's a hero to the people can give the ego an intense slip. Quick, fast, you begin to brag. Club hopping, blowing your cash, acting silly Billy bad. Cocky just cause your wrist is rocky like Stallone. You wanna be on, so no one can stop you type of trip. Ain't that a flip? Now you slowly about to slip. Seduced by the power of having chips and all the chicks you want. Lord Jesus, temptation and greetings to one of the deadliest diseases for all majors to see this. So all you major dreamers that's trying to make it happen, let me show you all what's really happening. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get up and so insane when you step into it, man. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get up and so insane when you step into it, man. You either a winner or a loser, choose one. If you think you got what it takes, then gonna do some. And so then let me school some of y'all about the game, man. Let me explain rule number one. Trust nobody, simple and plain. Get what you came for and fall back. And never sell your soul, bro, for that tall stack. Stay true to you, to what you do, and keep it humble at all times. Move for the grind, and everything will be all fine. This is the wanna be baller, shot caller, all of you stop falling for all of the crop. You saying articles from papers to the TV to the internet. It's easy, so sleazy. Strictly designed for talking goofy. So know the do's and don'ts before you start to clown or be another statistic when the lights go down. I'll show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game.
Oh, man.
Welcome to another edition of the Chicago Millionaire Radio Show. I'm your host, Robert Reed, but I got a special guest in here today. Man, he's one of the greatest, man, legends in Chicago history associated with Chicago State, man. That you can't mention Chicago State without mentioning this guy when it comes to being with students, faculty, sports, athletics, education. You name it, man. Everything that I learned, I saw about come through him at Chicago State. Give it up to Sudie Davis, man. What's up with it, big bro?
What's up, Bob?
I'm chilling,
hey, man, love your show. Love your show.
Man,
you're doing some good stuff, man.
Man, I'm surprised dudes even be willing to talk to me about this stuff. But it was so much history in Chicago. I'd be like, why are we not talking about this stuff, right?
Well, it's talked about, but it's kept in a certain community. It's kept in the basketball community. You know, something might get out. People who don't really know the inside of what's going on, they just see the show. So the people who's interested in the group, it's hey man, you start a rumor like this, you can whisper. It's all over Chicago, you know.
It go bad
quick. They'll call your house. Hey man, did you?
But then we got these platforms we can get the real story, and that's why we're here today to get the real story from the legend Sudie Davis. And let's start from the beginning. Who is Sudie Davis? Where did it all start for you growing up?
But I grew up on the low end of
Okay.
Chicago. 41st and now it's 42nd, 43rd, 39th, that area, right by the lake. Grew up
Okay.
down there. And I went from there to grammar school there, Donut, Oakenwall, Forestville, Price, those schools. I went from there all the way, this is the trick now, from there all the way to the west side, to
Oh,
Westinghouse.
wow.
So I got to know all the guys on the south side. They were playing ball. I would play ball with them, but when they had the one gang over here on the side of the street, the other gang on the side of the street, my house right here. So I would play with both. And then when they played against each other, I would referee.
Oh, wow.
So when it got time to graduate, you had to go get what high school they're going to send you to. I went and got my papers downstairs. They said, man, you going to Dunbar with us? Though? You going to Phillips with us? One gang over here, one gang over there. I said, yeah, let me go get my papers. I told him, I said, hey, you got to find me a vocational school. I don't want to be caught up in this mess, you know.
Oh.
She said, well, I don't know. I don't know, but let me look on the list. She looked, I said, she said, CVS. I said, no, that's kind of, no. She said, well, here's one down here. She said, Westinghouse. I said, Westinghouse? She said, vocational. I said, where? She said, way over. I said, that's the one.
That's for
So
real. Wow.
Look, so I got my stuff, man. First day, I got my little stuff. Took the bus to the train and the train to the other train and got on the bus. And when I came down the train steps, I looked on the wall. It said, Black Peace Stone, Black Disciples. I said, I'm right back in it. I said, ain't nothing changed. I thought I was trying to take a little vacation. I said, I'm right back in it. So from Westinghouse, I got to know everybody on the west side, being an athlete, ball players. Went from there to Chicago State, and I went to Jackson State first with Walter Payton and the guys. Okay,
man,
I called everybody and said, "There's a guy down here with his brother."
Slow down, big bro. You said, okay, you was at Westinghouse. You played sports at Westinghouse?
Yes.
What you play?
Track and field.
Track and field. That's what I was reading up on you. I saw they just inducted you. They up at Chicago State, but we're gonna get to that too. That's why I wanted to ask you. That was your specialty in high school, huh? From Westinghouse.
Track and field. It took me to training Olympians, training a couple of world record holders, training, winning Prairie State games, winning this, winning that, Chicagoland championship, Track was my thing. I had a track team and a track club. Well, nobody gonna touch them. Not Chicago. But see, you all wouldn't hear about that because it's not moved like basketball or football.
No. Right.
Back then, the coverage was like a little thing in the paper like that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get the full page. Then the guy from the Tribune picked us up and said, hey, man, what y'all doing over there on that little track? You ain't even got a track. Right. I said, nope. So then I started getting a little following, and, I got a chance to speak at some big clinics and stuff. I went around the world and did some clinics and stuff. And I just kept going with track, but that's later on. But see, I went from Westinghouse to Jackson State with the Peyton boys down there. I called and tried to tell them about these boys. They thought I was joking. So they drafted Peyton. I came back. They said, that's the guy. I said, y'all been watching. Be glad his brother ain't in the backfield with him because they was a mess.
Well, because I remember his brother was the golf coach at Jackson State, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I went to Jackson State. He was there.
Jackson State. I came home. Oh, you went to Jackson State?
Yeah, I went to Jackson State.
Oh, man.
Yep, I was down there for 5 years, man. I spent 5 years at Jackson State. I got down there in 89. I couldn't pass the national teachers exam, so I came back home and finished at Chicago State.
You down there in Lynch Street. Well, you followed me.
Yeah, I was down there on Lynch Street, man. I was getting them Al burgers.
I was there in 1970. Anyway. Lynch Street, yeah, Capitol Street, yeah.
It was good living down there, though, wasn't it, though, Mr. Davis? Wasn't it beautiful down there? What was your experience like down there?
It was nice.
Man?
It was peaceful. I'm gonna tell you the truth, Bobby. I had to come home. I hurt my knee, but I had to come home because the only difference was it was so. I don't want to say this now. Don't Mississippi people get mad at me because my people from Mississippi, okay?
Right.
It was slow.
It was slow.
They were doing stuff we did 4 years ago and saying it was great. And I'm sitting there
Right.
going, oh, that's old. What? You know.
Right.
So my name wasn't Sudie, my name was Chicago, like they do all of
Okay.
us. Chicago. It was Chicago.
Right.
So I told my mom, I said, went for my knee. I don't think I could have done it. I don't think I could have stayed because I was used to the fast, like the traffic and stuff. And down there was
Right.
just peaceful, man.
Yeah, it
So,
was.
yeah, we did that. But I left there, came to Chicago State, got there, came in. I saw these white instructors, man. The first time I went to school with white folk.
Oh, at
They
Chicago
sitting in
State?
class, yes, in class with me. I'm like, they cheating off my paper. I'm like, y'all dumb too, huh? Yeah. So we had German instructors in physical education and recreation, and I thought they were prejudiced because they was horning in on the blacks, man. And I said, man, this place is. Then I realized it wasn't that they really cared. It was
At
teaching us.
Chicago
It was
State.
teaching us.
What
And
year
I
was
was
that?
okay. You just trying to get it, ain't you? Trying to get
No,
it?
I was just because I remember when Chicago
19,
State.
1973.
Because I remember when I was just up at Chicago State yesterday, just a quick sidebar, and it's kind of empty. So I remember when they used to be packed up there. You know what I'm saying, big bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's changed, and they're trying to build it back. They lost a lot of students, but one thing they don't understand about Chicago State. Sidebar, I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
Chicago State doesn't have a lot of old money.
No.
They don't have all this money from the old alumni because Chicago State is the only school in Illinois that changed its name. It was Chicago Teachers College. They had all that good money down on 60 something. When they moved to 95th Street, those people kept their money in their little organizations down there. They didn't bring the money over with Chicago State because Chicago State is now sitting in a black neighborhood. And a lot of the other people, they said, I ain't put my money out there. We're going to keep our little organization going. We had dinners and everything, man, trying to invite them down, trying to build that money up. Come on over here and put your endowments in so we can have some endowment money and we could grow. And we didn't happen. So
that's it.
You can't compare them to Ohio State or Michigan State or or Northwestern or University of Chicago. They got endowment money. Our endowment money, then we moved, but it didn't move with us. Then it went from almost like that to almost all black. When you were there.
Right.
When I was there, it was almost 50-50 or 50-40 or 60-40. Okay, so it's been different. So Chicago State was at that point a new school with no money. Now we had evening students that used to come in the evening, right? After work to get those degrees. Parking lots be full about 5 o'clock, Jack. You can't find a parking. You might have to park on King Drive.
Yeah.
Once that program went down, then you only had the students, the day students on campus. Okay. So there wasn't a whole lot, but and then some things happened with the money and the state monies and this and that. And this president came and did a lot of stuff. Then it got real. The enrollment was down. Now they're working kind of hard to get it back because you talk about HBCUs. We're not HBCU, but we're affiliate because we gave more bachelor degrees than any HBCU school in the country. So they had to let us in because we were giving more degrees to black folks than the rest of the black schools. So we are affiliate. We are affiliate of HBCU.
Wow.
Let's give you a little history.
Man, that's good to know. They gave out more degrees because I got my degree from Chicago State now.
And you black, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, mine 1997. I got my degree. I finished up there.
So that's the history. So now we've had some people come through in the leadership who kind of for themselves, they kind of messed it up. Now they're trying to pull it back together. And I think the president over there is doing a good job. She's working what she got. She's working hard. So, I think it's good. I came back to volunteer. I volunteered with the track and field teams. Now, since we're going to talk about basketball, I'm going to give you some stuff you didn't know about basketball.
Okay.
Chicago State had a guy named Bob Hallberg, great coach. took him to NAIA. They finished third in the nation. They was in the championship game now. Finished third in the nation. Great team. Hallberg was a great rebound recruiter. Top kids would go out, get pissed off, didn't like the school. He'd pull it back in, right? Before that, Chicago State had some coaches and some teams that did pretty well. But the whole piece was a president named George Ayers was trying to find a coach to take the team where he wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So he had to find an athletic director, first of all, because they changed from the white administration to black. They split the administration. It used to be the teachers and the coaches were the same people. Watch my hand now. So the salary is here. The basketball coach taught class, and he got a stipend for coaching.
That's right.
The golf coach, the tennis coach, okay? Ayers said, hey, I want a separate department. Huh? Keep PE. I'm going to take athletics out of that. Now you got to find money to pay coaches just to coach. They didn't have to teach. So now you got to get a whole, you got to build, okay? You're trying to structure a whole different department for physical education.
Right.
A couple of them stayed in, but the rest of them, it was a separation. So he brought in the athletic director. I didn't know who he was. Guy came in, I met him. He said he went to school with me at Western. I said, how you doing, man? You know, I was just track coach. He says, what do you do here? I told him I had to be the interim athletic director till he got there. I kept everything in line. Guy came in. I said, well, you here now. You know, I'm going back to my track thing. But I got the summer league I got to deal with because they got a kickoff. Right. I said, you know what? Why don't you go with me to the kickoff? You can meet all the So he got it in my car, drove over to South Shore Country Club. All the guys in there, Shelly Starks and all the guys, and we walked in the door. Like, hey, you know, they always, hey, Sudie, what's up? I came in, they were like, hey, yeah. I said, what the hell wrong with them? They looked at me like I stole something. I said, dude, what's wrong with y'all? One of the guys said, why you bring him here? I said, who is him? Him. I said, he's the new athletic. Oh, hell no. What's wrong with y'all? See, I was too young. I didn't know. There was a game back in the 50s, I think. DuSable played Mount Greenwood, whatever it was, downstate for the championship, right? It was a white team against a black team. Except the white team had one black player. That's who I brought in the door. Now, this team and the referees cheated DuSable. It's a history. It's about the game.
That's that game.
That's that game. Right. So I didn't know the guy I brought with me. I don't want to say his name, but everybody know who he is. Was that guy?
Wow.
And they was like, so I went back to the president. I said, hey, man, your boy, why you get him? He said, oh, yeah, he's a good guy. I said, hey, man, everybody is hating on this dude. He said, what? I said, dude, I think you've put an albatross around our neck for the next 20 years. He told me, no. I said, I'm telling you, because all of those guys were out coaching teams and influencing basketball. And now, when you say you want to go to Chicago State, you just don't go to Chicago State. So there was a problem between that all the way up until now. Tracy, I bought Tracy, and Tracy beat it up pretty good. He got it back. Right. But there was a plan. There was a plan that I had as a track coach. Yeah, I got Craig Hodgett hired. I wasn't the AD. Okay. Right. We had Bo Ellis in it. We had a lot of folks in there, but Al just always had a way to mess up something. So the plan was, I said, you know what I can do? President was frustrated. Our basketball team, our number one team, we got to get it back like it was. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Nobody knows this but you now, because ain't nobody listening. I'm going to get you 2 basketball coaches that are going to turn this sumbitch out. If you listen to me, because I was doing well in track, I want the other programs to come up because they got rid of wrestling, they got rid of swimming, they got rid of. I said, look, we can get basketball back up there quickly. I said, y'all done tried everything. Just listen to me. I'm going to bring you 2 coaches that's going to do it. She said, who? I said, one of them name is Sonny Cox. Sonny Cox. When it been in the paper, I said, hey, Sonny Cox, turn this She said, I said, hold on now. I said, hold on now. This true story. I said, and for the women, I'm gonna bring you a lady named Dorothy Gators.
Oh.
I said, I can do that. I can do that. I know these people.
Right.
I talked to Sonny. He was, man, you know, I said, Sonny, look, man, but I need this. I said, Sonny, let's do this. Okay. They tried the stuff at the poll. I said, but you can do this. You can do this is made for you. You the king. You I went to Dorothy. She tell you, I'm her boyfriend. I said, girlfriend, I gotta talk to you. We talk. She says, all right. They had an interview with Sonny Cox. He showed that film like this, like this, like this. I don't know if you ever seen it like this, like
I
this.
said it. I said it.
Sit in the room like this. They
Like,
then the music said like this. They were like, I said, look, I did a good thing. They gonna get something. Came back. They said something like, we can't handle him. I said, you ain't got to handle him. NCAA handle him, and the AD will handle him. They got rules. This ain't like high school. This is
right.
Well, I said, y'all making a big mistake. Dorothy came over. The president loved her. Yes. Dorothy said, yes. She said, well, go over and meet with the AD. She went over there and met with the same guy I told you about. She came in my office and looked at me and you know what she said? Right. Sudie, I love you. I wasn't AD now. I'm tracker. She said, you're the only one ever recruited me for college. She said, but I can't work for him.
Oh.
So what happened?
Wow. Dang.
You back down here.
Right?
Now you're trying to fix it. When I got to be AD, I did the biggest thing I could do. I brought Tracy in there because I knew Tracy could recruit kids from all over. Everybody liked Tracy.
Yeah.
Right? Tracy was taking kids, wherever school he went to, he'd bring Chicago kids with him.
Yeah.
Right? I tell you another story you hate to see. You remember my boy Collins? Who went to Illinois? Went to Illinois as assistant coach under Lou Dude.
Yeah.
Okay. His deal, he was bringing all the Chicago kids out to Champaign. Right. In his contract, it said, when Lou Dude retires, you will become head coach of University of Illinois. University of Illinois never had a head black coach.
Oh.
I said, this is great. So Lou Dude is out. Collins like this. Did he get the job? You know what they did?
What they do?
In the contract, it said coach of UIC. Yeah, University of Illinois, Chicago. They made it Illinois University, Chicago. They told him, nope, you can have that job. They went down there and kicked Hallberg out. He went back to over here where he was and put him in there so they wouldn't be sued.
Wow. Hold on.
Rewind
back, big bro. You said
okay.
In that contract, it had UIC in there?
No, it said University of Illinois. University of Illinois. Wow. And so they weren't going to give him that head job. They gave him a job at University of Illinois, Chicago.
Right. I remember he got that job down there at UIC.
They fired Hallberg and got him out and put him in there like, whew, okay, we ain't got to deal with him.
Wow.
See, this basketball thing is bigger than what people see from the stands. When you look at the administrative side, you look at the moves, it's just like the Bulls blowing up that team this year.
Right.
You know, what the hell was going on down there? Okay. Right. So now, enough of that. Let's get back to you asked me about how did I get tired in basketball? I did basketball clinics for Hallberg. I was a shot coach. I worked a lot of clinics, a lot of stuff. Then I became the intramural. I became the athletic trainer at Chicago State. And I worked real hard to do that. By $1, my daughter leaving. I said, I worked very hard to get that position. So then the summer league came. They said, we got to have an athletic trainer or you can't have the summer league. Certified athletic trainer. Well, we got one. I was in there. I come in the door and I see all these pro players. I go, oh, Lord, I got to deal with these guys. My job is an auxiliary support. Tell young kids, everybody want to get on the basketball team and play basketball. You okay? Okay. I said, everybody want to get on the team. Everybody can't. There's only so many spots.
Right.
I said, but if you want a career in basketball, there's other spots. You could be the scorekeeper. You could be the shot counter. You can be the athletic trainer. You can be, all these positions. Even the guys who clean up the floor, they get paid nice salaries. Now to the point they got these little mascots, they're making more money than some of the damn players on the floor.
You're right. You're right.
There's so many other positions you can get on the court. Be a referee. Look at Danny Crawford. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was a ref.
Hey, referee.
Look, I mean, there's so many other jobs to look at. So I'm an auxiliary support to Chicagoland basketball. I've helped basketball players, referees, you name them. I looked at the game differently. They saw me sitting on the sideline with your Uncle Jimmy. And before I go out on the floor when somebody go down, I know what's happening before I get out there. Because I'm looking at the game. I can tell you Michael's moves. I knew his L cuts. I knew this move, that move. I knew who the hackers was in the game. I can tell you what you call him shot. I know which way. When he's limping, I know something wrong with him. He can't get his shot off. So I'm looking at, I ain't looking at, I see the score, but I'm looking at these players. When they get on the floor, I say, oh, I see Stevie King and Feathers. I say, oh shit, somebody finna get hurt. Reggie Thea's got his eye torn. I put that back together, skin back together. We got to be tight. Big what's my boy name? Big oh man, what's
Artist Gilmore?
No, the big boy who passed away. Oh man. But anyway. No. But anyway, he got hurt. Duckworth.
Okay.
Shoulder got pulled down here. The scouts was there to see him. Everybody, scouts put the pads down. Mike came in trying to dunk. Duckworth tried to block, pulled the shoulder down. He was out. I took him in the back, reset it, bag of ice. I caked it up, taped it on there, took him back in the gym. I said, Coach, put him back in the third quarter after halftime. Well, I said, he got scouts up there. Duckworth had like 2 block shots. He probably had about 6 points. At the end of the game, he had about 20-something, 28, 29, something like that. He had blocked about 4 more shots. He got drafted.
Wow.
I'm in the gym playing ball with y'all. He come in the back door and picked me up. I said, who the hell is this? I said, Kevin. He said, hey, man, you know I got drafted. I said, we all know you got drafted. You know what he told me? He said, what you want? I said, what? He said, man, if you would have done that good. I said, well, hold on. Okay. My brother didn't run up. Man, get a Mercedes. Man, get some money. I said, y'all get, you know how the gym was. Get back. I looked at Kevin. I said, Kevin. He said, well, he had that look. I said, okay, come on. Let's go out by the parking lot. So I'm walking. He behind me. Went down the hallway. Opened the door. I looked. I said, I want a Coca-Cola.
Wow.
They pay me to be the trainer. They ain't a lot of money, but I got paid to do my job. Okay. Right. I didn't block no shots. I didn't hit no buckets. Dude, that's you. That's to my brother. You ain't even asking for season tickets. I said, dude, you can't be mooching on people. That's his thing. You gotta let him go. So I had so many guys, and then you talk about Chicago State. You know, we had Sherrod Arnold, we had Tank Eversley, Darren Brittman, Video, Ron Cullum, we had Melvin Buckley, we had big Jose Benefiel. I mean, I can go on and on and on. We had some players at Chicago State. But the thing was, we gave them nicknames. Me and your uncle. We sat at the table, we come up with a name. We see a guy play. He said, what you think? I said, I don't know. That Brian Leach is fast. Why don't we call him like beep? He like the road runner. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Darren Brittman's out there. Doing his thing, stealing the ball. Michael say, somebody get him. I don't want him around me because he. So he said, what we gonna do with him? I said, I don't know, man. I know Brittman from here, but he said, well, he steal the ball. He said, oh yeah, like a thief. Yeah, like Alibaba. Alibaba. Tony Martin jumped up over Mike at IIT. I'll never forget that shit. Mike said, "Who the hell is that?" He said, "Man, what we gonna do with him?" I said, "Man, I don't know. He's like the elevator, man. Just go up, keep going." Then Jimmy said, "Yeah, but he stay up there." And we looked at each other. We said, "The levitator." Look, man, we had fun at the summer league now, right?
Oh,
so
man.
the gym is packed. You know how it was. Packed up in
I
there,
used
right?
to be in the rafters,
The
man,
girls would
watching
go get
that stuff.
dressed.
Be sweating. It'd be hot. It was
Look, the
lovely.
girls would go get dressed. You know it's hot up in there, right? It wasn't hot.
It was
The
hot.
girls go get dressed and they come. It's smoking up in there, man.
It was something to see, man. It was a
That's what
thing
Michael
of
told me.
beauty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But with the heat, it was hot. So the girls would wait till about second quarter and they bust open the door and they walk across in front of the table, in front of me and Jimmy, all dressed up. Because every night we had a party after the game. My man said, "Come party with the stars," after the game. They walk by all dressed up. And soon as it happened, Jimmy would go, and Rupert and them hold the ball. Time out. They walk by. And Jimmy leaned over. He said, "Girl, girl, girl." And the microphone, he put it in my face. I said, yes, yes, yeah. And everybody would just go crazy, right? Then we got in trouble because we make up stuff and start riots. He said, "In the gym, such and such is here. In the gym, okay, I got a scoop coming right up, right?" We said, "What we gonna do?" I said, "I don't know. What we gonna do?" He said, "I know. Let's make up a trade." I said, "Who gonna?" He said, "Let's trade Scottie Pippen for this one, that one, and this one." I said, "All right, we got a scoop. Chicago Bulls just made a trade for Scottie Pippen." Next day they come in like, "We're gonna kill y'all. Y'all ass going to look in the paper." We had so much fun at that summer league, and you were so close to the pros, you could talk to them. You could actually walk up and touch them. Our kids were walking up. Hi, Maurice Cheeks, had Ricky Green, Bobby Wilson, you had Isaiah. Well, no, I'll get to that. Mark Aguirre had all these guys in there. You had Big Brown. You had all these kids. J.J. Anderson. We had Terry Cummins. The kids right. So I'm gonna ask you this. I don't know if you was there hanging from the rafters. I wish Mark was on here. Now I'll tell you about Mark. I had Mark. Me and Fred were golfing. Had Mark on a team on the west side at the Hammond House. He had two other jokers with him. It was Mark Aguirre, Skip Dillon, and Bernard Randolph. I think we might have lost 3 games if we did it. These guys was ruthless, right? So when they graduated, Mark's mama wouldn't let him go to Westinghouse. That's where I went to school. Frank Lolino was there, so we were sending him. He went to Austin for the first year.
That's right.
They had to go over there and beg his mama, "Please, mama, please." So she let him come to Westinghouse. We used to call him Fat Daddy because he had a little chubby on him, right? And his favorite move was on the right side. He bounced the ball and go up and take his hand and block. And then he put off the backboard. He slammed. He was in 8th grade. I'm going, look at this dude, right? Great guy. So me and him is like, so when you have him on, I'm always laughing. But all of those players and all of those things in Chicago was tight. So one day at the summer league, you know how the summer league was. You had to be a player to play because they weren't going to let you in. Greg Connie and Shelley Starks ain't going to let you because Shelley holler, "Who are you? Where'd you play at?" He embarrassed in front of everybody. The guy put his stuff back in the bag and walk out. Right? So one day, Mark, because Mark is Mark, he brought somebody over there who, now, first of all, Chicago State Summer League was like Michael Jordan's league. Okay?
Right.
Michael Jordan made the league. Okay. All the people followed. Wherever we went, Michael played and went. Mark Aguirre's big enough. He come in the door. Guess who he got with him?
Who?
Some guy. What's the guy over there from the west side? Dribble real good. Named Zeke.
Isaiah Thomas.
Everybody went, "Oh," because him and Mike had that thing. Everybody was like, "Oh." Plus it was the bad boys. They was banging Mike, right? Oh. So they let him play. Look, they let him play. I swear to God this happened. I said, "Oh shit, you need to be taped." He said, "I'm all right." And he's looking around. Everybody, "Oh." I said, "You don't play in this environment." Mark gave him the ball. Isaiah threw it to Mark. Isaiah came in, Mark gave him the ball, Mark went down the court. Isaiah started dribbling the ball. He had to get from the baseline, go past free throw line, then you go past half court, right? He was trying to get from the baseline past free throw line. You know who was standing in front of him like this?
Who?
Alibaba.
Oh.
Darren Brittman. He came, Brittman ripped him. Boom.
Oh.
Bounced, laid it up, put it on the floor, bagged up back to the free throw line. He like that again. He ripped him a couple of times. Everybody was like, yeah, you my brother. And so Mark had to go get Isaiah and get your bag and take him out to the gym like, we out. I would never forget that. So every time I see Isaiah, I just put my head down. The other great thing that happened at the Summer League, that's two. The other great thing happened at the Summer League was, one, this lady used to come watch her brother play, and she get in the stands, and she was tall, and she'd be hollering, referee, you're in the room, you don't know it. I don't even know. Man, she here. So I used to take her and give her a towel or something, and sit down, and she'd be, yeah. So me and Jimmy looked at each other and said, we need to name her. I said, yeah. Said, what we gonna name her? We kept looking at her. He said, I know. Big Bird. Yeah. And so she goes there. He said, there she go. Big Bird. There she go. You know who this lady was?
Who?
Michelle Obama. She's watching her brother play because he was in the league, right? Later on, I said, if I ever take her hand, I'm going to have to tell her, how you doing? You don't remember me, do you? Good. We got a lot of trouble, man. So the last one was when Michael Jordan, Tim Hardaway talking so much shit. This my gym. This ain't Michael thing. I never in high school. I'm Michael said, when that little son bitch come back in here, I'm sick of here. So his little nephew would sit with me and Jimmy, and he sit there. And so Mike called him on the phone. He said, who playing tonight? He said, he said, that little dude. He said, yeah, he here. He said, I'm coming. So I'm sitting there, hey, well, Michael coming, huh? What? Yeah, he coming. He want to catch up with that boy right there, Hardaway. Tell me crossover, man. I said, oh, okay. The gym is packed. And the gym goes, I got a scoop. Then he goes, I got a scoop in the gym. People start looking around. He said, coming right up. So Mike comes, he parks his car in the back. He comes in the back door over there by my office. He's standing there. He got his hat sideways, standing against the wall. And people don't see him. They looking, he's standing in the crowd. His girl said, there he is by your office. So I walk over there over my office. He going, he said, yeah, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him tonight. I said, what? All of a sudden, I open the door, Jimmy, in the gym from the Chicago. And before he can say, boy, people, Michael walked out. Security opened the crowd. He walked out. He walked over there. He told my man, let me have your shirt. He said, I don't know if it was Ruben. Give me the ball. He said, you come here. He told Tim. They run him down the floor about 3 times. They're scoring, and Michael stuffed on Jim. He let him shoot a shot. Then he grabbed him, took to the middle of the floor, the microphone. He said, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a bad man. This is going to be a bad man. Where's he now? Hall of Famer.
Wow, Hall of Fame.
So Chicago's always had that tight knit of people. And basketball has been our key thing. Football was okay. But basketball was a thing for Chicago. And I heard Mark say, and I used to watch him, he used to go from park to park trying to find out who was the baddest guy. He wanted to play against him and stuff. And that's the same thing Michael did when he was out. Everybody come over his house or come somewhere. He wanted to play everybody. So the game was Chicago. It's always going to be Chicago. I felt the same thing when I used to visit New York with the Rucker. The same thing. They had that kind of if you were somebody, you had a badge, you could go anywhere. In Chicago, if you was an athlete, pretty good athlete, you could go between the gang lines and stuff. It wasn't oh man, that's such and such. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so what you're doing is bringing these guys out. I saw you have Red Ross on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that man, I used to watch that cat. Watching these guys I look at him now. I see Big Mike Brown, all the rest of them. I just stand there and look at him. I said, "Wow, Bobby Wilson, Ricky Green, Ricky, come up, man. I'm still I got my new knee. I'm ready to go." I said, Sherrod Arnold. People don't know that I had Sherrod running track. Oh yeah, I had Sherrod. Some of the other guys I worked with Ricky. Ricky, he was trying to get his speed together. He was known as the fastest man in the NBA.
Ricky Green.
So we got Ricky Green.
Yeah,
quick,
he was, man. I didn't know.
Green,
I just when I saw him play, I was like, I've never seen anybody that fast.
Well, until I saw then I saw one that was fast like a cat, and that was the legend. That was Brian Leach.
Brian Leach.
Brian Leach about that tall.
Leach, I went to school with him. I never saw him play though. Was he like that?
One night, Leach put up about 50. Ooh. And it was wicked because he was just zooming through people.
Was he?
I said, and he's short. Them guys swinging at him. I was like, oh, he gonna get slapped. I knew who the hackers was. I knew who was gonna get hurt. When they went out on the floor, I said, I gotta watch him because he gonna elbow. I knew who was elbowing. I knew who was doing all the crazy stuff. It was so quick, but Leach was quick. Now, the most quiet, the quiet assassin, nobody knew who he was but me. You know who it was? Who? Sonny Parker.
Sonny Parker.
Sonny Parker, the game be over. They say, Sonny Parker has 45. When? Did y'all give him some points? Sonny was so smooth. Sonny come down. Sonny wasn't flashy. He was so basic and smooth. Get a shot off, hit Sonny Parker, going down. He don't, yeah. He didn't go in trying to dunk on people and stuff. Sonny, man, pick you off the pick, bang, come around, turn around, bang, and never said nothing. At the end of the game, Sonny has 45. Now we sitting there watching the game. When did he get 45? Sonny was a mess, man. But all the players I saw, and out of all the let me back up. All the great athletes that I saw, and there was a lot of them, because Chicago State had Ron Cullum, Rebound King, and all these other guys. We had Reggie Theus in the gym. We had J.J. Anderson with Terry Cummings. We always had somebody doing something flashy. Out of all the guys I worked with and had to tape and look at work out, I think Michael Jordan. One time he did a commercial, that Max Headroom commercial. Oh, don't stuff Mike. Did at Chicago State.
Oh, he
I was sitting in my office. Yeah, so when he had a break, he came over and kicked my door. Boom. Come on, I need somebody to beat on. I got a break. We went out there and we playing in the basket, and he bounced the ball, talking to people, and I tapped it off his leg and said, "Oh, I didn't take it from Mr. Jordan. No, I didn't take it from him." He's sitting there laughing at me, and we went to it. He hit the basket. I got the ball. I came in. I flipped it off the backboard and ran in the corner. He came over there, and I did it like this, and he went. Then he started looking at me different, like, "You little." I said, So I saw Mike work out, just doing basic workouts. And my question I want to give him was, why don't you tell people how you got that turnaround? Why don't you tell people how hard you work on that L cut? You got these kids thinking if they put on your shoes, the music gonna happen. They just gonna be Michael Jordan. This dude worked hard, man. When he had his foot broke, he's in the pool. This dude was working. I said, oh, so he don't show his hard work. They showed some on Kobe, but you never saw Michael go through his routine. It was like it was a secret. Okay. But this cat, I looked at him, I said, and he was skin and bones. I show you a picture. He was like this. Then the cat, I said, dude, you have really, I said, are these other players really watching you? Or are they trying to catch you, but they're not seeing the hard work that you put in? These kids need to know that you got to put in some work, man, to be on that stage. Because it's getting deep now. They're going overseas bringing kids in here. They bring athletes from overseas taking these spots that we used to have. So now, I remember when Chicago took the rims down in Chicago. What for?
Yeah, we remember
they did park and play. They took the rims down, man, to my games and this and that. And our game kind of slowed down. We used to have more guards than anybody in the world other than New York. Yeah, guards and forwards. We didn't have a lot of centers. We didn't have a lot of big men because everybody played. He was either a guard, a point guard, he was a forward, or a center. Now it's you one. I played 1, 2. I played 3, 2. What?
Right.
So the game didn't change. So for a big moment, they took our baskets down. And the other thing happened to Chicago, but people were not. They said suburban schools are killing us. Those are the kids that was in Chicago. Those families moved. Okay. So Chicago proper ain't got that, that Lions Den that we had coming up, because everybody done kind of families done moved out. And so now it's Illinois. So you'll see a lot of guys, well, he's from down, he's from Creek, he's from over here. But it used to be these from Chicago kids. That's why the DuSable game against my Green, whatever it was serious. And when the referees, they say the referees cheated, they took some points out the basket, that hurt them. But the DuSables feel they won the game, but back then, they make whatever call they want.
They make whatever call they want.
Right. Yeah. Basketball in Chicago has come a long way. I did some clinics. I put together Tim Hardaway's clinic for Rosa Matters. I've done when I was I ran the Croc Center after I left Chicago State.
I saw that. I was reading through your bio. I saw you ran that over there.
Yeah, I helped them design that place. Then I had to help them. I had to help them hire everybody, and I had to help them set up the programs for everybody. So I had a lot of my friends coming there, PhDs, the big music guy from down, Bill McCullen. I had an outstanding PhD from Chicago Public Schools that retired. I had Kim, can't think of her last name right now, she's gonna kill me. But I had some really professional people in every department to set that thing up. It was running well. But when I was there, we had your boy. Well, we had Tim Hardaway's clinic, but we also had Derrick Rose clinic, and then I had a celebrity game over there, and it was fantastic. So after I retired from there, I was time for me to bring my ass home. I was tired, man. I was tired, and I'm not ashamed now, but at 72 years old,
man, you look great, man.
I've done a lot, man. I've been around the world coaching track and field. I played tennis, and I really felt that when I was coming up, nobody could beat me at all the sports.
Wow. And you was always active, man. That was the key to that's the key to your youth, right? You stay active, right, Sudie?
Am I green tea all day?
You drink green tea? You broke up.
I stay active. Yes, sir. All day. When I go to track practice, I got this cup, another cup, and I'm sipping on green tea all the time.
Wow.
I love my green tea. I try to stay active. I got some stuff around here. I got a little gym downstairs in the basement. I'm in my kitchen right now. Okay. I do my little stuff out here. I got me a little hot tub out there, a little sauna stuff. I try to keep, because man, if you don't do it, ain't nobody gonna do it for you.
Right? That's the key to it, man.
I play golf. I teach golf, and I'm playing golf. I didn't play this. The tournament started yesterday. I did it for the last 2 years. We won it the year before, fourth last year because of my injury. This year, I said, I'm not going to play golf. My buddy was so upset, but they started yesterday. He told me he was okay. He got another partner. So I can play golf now when I feel like it. But I'm going to tell you, dude, I've been active all my life, but I never thought I'd find a person who could compete with me in every sport. Wasn't going to happen. No, you might beat me when you're not going to beat me in all of them. I did gymnastics, swimming, fencing, basketball. I played semi-pro football for Chicago Lions. I've done okay. But I enjoyed it.
Your life been full.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. I always wanted to know what it would be like. And then being a trainer, coming from Chicago State, I dealt with physics. And everything I saw in my mind, the way I run my mind, is physics. And if you can do one, you can do the other because they all kind of lead in. For instance, now they're playing what they call pickleball. Is they call pickleball?
Yeah.
Okay. Back then, that was a lead-up game for us to teach, and tennis. So that's a game from way back. They said, "Won't you play that?" I said, "No, I didn't play that." "You ain't play." I said, "No, that's the game you use to call it paddleball. They teach people how to play tennis." I said, "Well, they made a sport out of it. That's nice." So the Olympic team, they want to do something. They're probably going to bring that in. But what they won't bring in is our best sport.
What's that?
You say, what's our best sport? We got speed. balance, right? Accuracy, right? Timing, okay. Rhythm, skating.
Skating.
They got ice skating because we don't have ice rinks. They won't bring you no roller skating. I bet you that. How long roller skating been around?
Right.
Because
I don't know how long
we doing all kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I used to be cold
look,
on them skates, man.
Look, it would be over. Look,
it'd be over with.
Don't put that out there. Put ice skating in because I know they don't have ice skating rinks. But yeah, man. But I, you know, I've enjoyed a lot of stuff that I've done. But now I have to give back.
Okay.
I feel like I got a lot of knowledge. I can't just get in the box and take it with me.
Right.
I gotta give it to these kids. These kids out here. And I see these coaches. Somebody gave them a clipboard and a whistle. Yeah. I was at the meet the other day. Guy leaned over, he told the kid, he said, run down there, hit the ball, jump up like you're doing a karate kick. I stood back. I went, what? This kid gonna hurt himself. So I'm concerned with the development. I think I'm gonna have to step in track and field like we all have stepped in basketball. And I'm doing some things now. I'm coaching some coaches, and a lot of my athletes that I had at Chicago State are now coaches everywhere. I got about 5 of them around Chicago at some high schools and colleges that's coaching, and I still talk to them. So I mentor them.
Segue into that coaching. Mike Alexander, there's been a host of stuff people been putting up here, but I'm letting you roll, because it's a good time, man. Mike Alexander said, I wonder what was his relationship to Corliss High School coach Donald Young, Dunbar Peyton McHale, and Simeon Bob Hammer.
Oh yeah, Bob. Hey, Bob was cool.
That fake
I think the closest relationship I had with the high school coaches was my coach Frank Lolino.
Okay.
In basketball, and the other one was Sonny Cox.
Okay.
We were like this. We fell out. He got mad at me because his daughter wasn't hired at the Croc Center. But I told him I don't have any, that's belief in me. And he lived out that way. So I said, Sonny, just have a submit her stuff. Man, I'm mad at you. I'm mad. That's the first time he ever been mad at me. I said, Sonny, look, I don't get into that. I said, but the main thing is still love you. I love her, and things are, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Everything happened for a reason, bro.
Man, I tell you, to circle back on that, man, because we've been talking about a lot. That Dorothy Gators and Sonny Cox at Chicago State would change the whole trajectory of Chicago State.
Dude,
man, that could have
I'm
been
not saying I'm a genius, but you didn't have to be a genius to figure that out.
You would have to be a genius.
No, you could have been Ray Charles. You could have been Ray Charles and some other fool. Look, let me tell you something. There was this time when they was hot. Look, this is when they was hot. You can ask Dorothy Gators about it. Sonny ain't here, but you can ask Dorothy about it. I brought them in there. I told the president, I said, look, if you don't do nothing else, listen to me just one time, please. And she said, oh, well, okay, so I said, I'm just a track coach. I know I'm not the AD, but listen to me. If you do these 2 things, you'll bring us back and put this place over the map.
Right.
And they didn't do it. And I said, you know what? Y'all just set us back 20 more years. And I didn't lie.
Wow. You ain't lie, because it's been hard to recover, man. We just haven't been able to get the teeth to get this thing going at Chicago State. And I wonder why, man.
Well, 2 things. Number one, when I was AD and the job was available, it was strange because I felt that a lot of the coaches wanted the job. I didn't say high school or college. I said a lot of these people from the basketball community wanted the job. Many of them probably could have done that, but I had a committee of people. Okay, NCAA, I even had the guy from public schools. I had Calvin Davis. I had some other guys. Buckley had some guys with playing experience, some guys from the old school guys in there. And we're looking at credentials. We're looking at who's winning, who's done it before, who have that experience. And see, when you're dealing with that, some guys get their feelings hurt. A high school guy got mad at me. He wanted to choke me for about 5 years, right? I should have the job. I said, dude, You got 85 college coaches with experience, and some had some winning, some didn't. Then I got high school guys who ain't never won nothing. Then I got some high school guys who won a few things.
Right.
This determines where the university is going. Well, you know, I'm a
Right.
friend of yours. Even though you're a friend of mine, I love you dearly. But
Right.
you don't have as much experience as these guys here. Your resume went on the floor early
Right.
because you didn't meet the criteria. You know, look,
It's
I
not
was in a position.
personal.
Hey, it's business. And I
It's
was in a
business.
position, I was looking at people, I said, hey, man, I said, look, get mad at me, do whatever you want. And I said, but I'm sorry. I have to stand by my standards. And if I could have made that deal before I was AD years ago with Cox and them, I wouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah. They'd have been still eating off of that right now to this day, just off of sponsorships and
That's how you
endorsements from people
that's how
coming in
you
and out.
started. That's how you
Yeah.
started.
Because all the
When
players
I'm,
that King done had over the years, man, could you imagine? He
wait a
probably
minute, wait a
could
minute.
lure.
Let me go back. One guy wrote a letter, I ain't gonna call his name, from Cincinnati. He said, if you hire Sonny Cox, I will leave here now and come.
Mm, mm,
I said, God, I said, the writing's on the wall, y'all. There it is right there. Hey,
yeah.
that put us back. But now I see the future. They got a young guy there now. He's not from Chicago. I'm trying to get him in the groove with some of the ball players, from some of the legends, to talk to him and see if they can help him out. He doesn't seem to have a bad attitude, but he's not from Chicago.
Right. I know that. I
So,
saw that. And see, that's the
so
thing, man. Everybody in all these other schools got coaches from their town and they got kids from their towns, man. And they build from within. You look at Texas Southern roster, Texas A&M, and all these HBCU schools in the South. They got kids from their town. It's hard to go watch Chicago State and ain't none of the kids from Chicago, man.
But then when you want a guard, wherever you are, you go to Chicago, New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
College coaches like, I got to get me some guards. Okay. So I'm saying if we can bring this thing together, what I said earlier, a lot of coaches was jealous. They wanted the job. If we can get over that selfishness and come together and build these train routes into the university, they can take Chicago State over the map. But each one of them want to do it. It won't help the other one. They say, I don't know, I should. Dude, we got to get out of that. When a guy wins a city championship, everybody should be happy for him. Oh man, that move. No, dude. He beat you. Look, you saw the girls NCAA game, right?
Yeah.
You saw at the end. A man was frustrated. He was supposed to be the number one. The girl kicked his butt, and he went by there, and he just came up with something. He had to come back and apologize. Hey, you know why he had to apologize? Because he was going to have to pay for that. Either NCAA was going to get him, or his school was going to get him. It was going to be something. So if he wanted to keep his job, he said, I'm sorry. Look, Chicago State's going to have football. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that. They got a coach.
They open up this season.
Wow.
This fall. Okay.
Wow.
They'll be the only college in Chicago, Illinois, other than the one out here on 103rd, St. Xavier, with a football team.
Wow.
Loyola ain't got a football team. DePaul ain't got a football team. Northwestern does. But the rest of the schools, UIC don't have a football team.
Right.
So the draw should be, okay, so these football coaches should be trying to get with this guy, with his squad that he put together, and trying to do a thing. Now, that means they don't have any competition for recruiting. See, basketball is different. How many schools basketball we got in Chicago?
How many
schools, how many colleges and junior colleges do we have in Chicago that has basketball? Whole lot of them. Yeah. Whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of them. All these little junior colleges and division, all okay. If you go to Charleston, Illinois, it's Eastern Illinois University. Go to these other places, they're recruiting kids from other states. They don't have as many high schools. Chicago has a lot of competition when it comes to basketball. Recruiting. Kids go everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you got the only team in Chicago, you should do pretty well, shouldn't you?
You should.
We're going to see. They're going to see. Now, they want to have football when I was there, but I told them, we ain't got enough money. I said, now, a joker come here with a bag of money, let's go. See, but football's a lot, brother. Basketball coaches and football coaches normally make more than the president of all these universities.
Yeah, they do.
They make
but there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about before we get out of here.
Okay.
I got 2 things I want to ask you about. I'm not like 3. Okay, somebody said Sudie used to kill him walking around the pro-am with the laser curl. He said nobody killed it like you did, Mike Alexander. And then he said he used to wear the laser curl around.
He said, what now?
Hey, he said he used to wear the laser curl around the pro-am, be killing them.
Man, my hair was down my back almost, man. And me and Reggie Theus used to call each other Conk Man.
Yeah. Hey. Okay, we got this.
Ain't they?
Yeah, they trying to signify. And then we got this question right here. He said, this guy want to know, name your top 5 Chicago high school players you've seen with your own eyes.
Ronnie Fields.
Ronnie Fields won.
I got to go to King. I got to say handling the ball. I like Tracy. I like my boy was at Illinois. Can't call his name right now. He gonna kill me. This is in Arizona now. He gonna beat me up.
Arizona now.
My top 5, man. Look, you trying to get me hurt. He trying to get. They're gonna be throwing bricks at my car, man.
He can't do that. He can't do that. You know too many people. You've been around too many people.
I might as well choke myself. But one thing I can holler, Ronnie Fields. He didn't get his and Ben Wilson was great. I didn't see Ben play a lot. I heard about him. I saw some film of him. He was very nice. I would like to see him more, but you know what happened to him.
Yeah, man. Tragedy.
But Ronnie
I was there
Fields,
with him.
I saw Fields play, and I saw the big ticket play with him. And the big ticket was like Scottie Pippen to Michael.
Yeah, they had something nasty going on over there.
That dude was rough. I had a celebrity game at the Kroc Center, and a special guest. We had the TV station playing us and the radio station playing them, and a special guest we brought in was Ronnie Fields. He came through the back door, and the people were like, "Who is he?" The guy shot a ball, it hit the back of the basket and went up in the air, and he went up in the air like the top of the backboard and grabbed it and came down, and the whole crowd just went like this. Oh, that must be who he is. Oh, wow. That boy, look, man, that boy get up like Mike, like
he wasn't that tall either. He was only like 6'4", 6'3", maybe.
That's what I'm talking about.
He wasn't even that tall.
If you see some, they got
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But this is another thing I want to ask you about before we get out of here. I don't want to let this slip my mind. I read something in the paper that they're doing a totally new development where they're trying to buy up all that land around Chicago State and make it a township, a Chicago State community township. Have you heard that?
Yes. I saw some plans. I saw something. They also did that back in the day too, and it never came about, but they wasn't doing the whole community. I've always felt that Chicago State is sitting in an area where it's not conducive to be a college town. If I take you to Northern, they got a place. Jackson State, we had an area, right? I could take you to Eastern, they got an area where kids, you could go buy stuff from bookstore and everything is there. And they had a little bar where they had a little beer and stuff. Always had something. You got to have that community to go along with your university. Because they're not just buying into the school, they're buying into that whole area. Look at University. Look at University of Chicago. They got a High Park. Yeah. They got that helps sell the university. Chicago State didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I always felt they should do that. But 2 things. I know the homes are not going to move. So you got to stay on your property, but you can go down Cottage Grove in that back area over there and develop a lot of stuff. So
they said they're putting together plans to buy it. So hopefully they can pull that off.
Well, they got a lot of stuff they're going to build on campus. I don't think they had that much room, but I saw the plans. I say, if we can get it done, community around your university for the students to go there.
You got
Okay. Now I'm just gonna say this. If you are a non-black student, you're at Chicago State, and I had a problem because when it got dark, you want to go get a hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take the Wendy's to open back up? They never did. They closed for 20 years. That's right across the street. So now you got to have a vehicle. Some of these kids got to have a vehicle to go somewhere and get something, get some food. They got to go. They got to come over here in Beverly. They got to go somewhere to get some food. If they got a community around them, like Loyola, they got a community around there. You know, those are the things that you have to make it more conducive for students to want to come. And realize something. You're selling the South Side of Chicago. When you say South Side, people go, But once they get there, they go like, "Oh, this is nice. It's
nice. It ain't bad over there, man."
Yeah, I mean, but you got the expressway on the backside.
Yeah.
You got the train track on this side, so you got two ways to walk up on campus. And we got state police, not security. They will lock your butt up. So that's the thing, and I think that community will help.
Well, man, I thank you for coming on, Sudie Davis, man. You just dropped so many jewels. I want you to be able to come on if you get a chance to come on Sunday on the Old School Sunday platform with the other guys if you got time. You think you could do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get you on with Carl Harris and all those guys and Flip and all of those guys.
Oh. Carl Harris. Don't throw no rocks in my car because I ain't calling your name.
But I want to thank you for coming on. Go ahead.
Hold on before you go. I got to get you. You played in my intramural league at Chicago State.
Yeah.
We had some hell of a games in there, didn't we?
Man, that was like the NBA up in there, man.
I brought some pros in there. I had running down there was my main man with the Bulls, 3-point shooting.
Craig Hodges.
I had Hodges. I had Levitator. I had some guys come in. Then I had some of the Chicago State players play with the Qs and this. When I saw a weak team, I tried to build them up so we could have that come around. We had some hell of a game. I got in trouble because at between 11 and 2 o'clock, that the instructors and kids would bring their lunch trays over and sit in the gym. The gym would be packed just for intramurals. We had more people in there than basketball.
We had a ball.
And after the game, we had to get all them trays and take them back to the lunchroom. So I enjoyed you who was there. We had a lot of fun, man. But I remember you from the tournament.
Thank you, man.
You was getting it too. Look, you was getting it,
Thank you. But see, they don't remember that, man. My man Sudie Davis, he joined the Chicago Millionaire radio show. I'm gonna clip this up. This is one of my legendary interviews. He gonna come back on with us Sunday, y'all.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, love you, big bro.
No, you do. Now tell Jimmy I talked to you.
Absolutely.
Peace. They can't keep up and so insane when you're stuck into it now. When the lights go down, when they show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't keep up and so insane.